V-mount, V-mount, V-mounts. I have a lot of V-mount batteries and they all aren't created equally. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 on the camera, so that's 8. I have 8 V-mount batteries that have accumulated over the years, but there's really only 1 or 2 that I would recommend you buy. So hopefully you can get an idea of what would be good for you based on my experience with all these batteries, and I have some tips and some tricks and some different cables that you can pick up to make your life easier depending on whatever batteries you do have. So the first batteries that I started out with were the newer batteries, these sort of chunky ones, the one that's on the camera now. This is actually a juice box, and the one that I use now that I swear by is the SmallRig 212, and I'm gonna get to why this is so great and why these are not, but if you have them, how you can make them a little bit better, closer to this. So let's start over here with the juice box. So this is kind of like your standard, you know, V-mount battery from back in the day, which just has a button that you push and it tells you the level. The thing that I don't really like about this is that when it gets to 1 bar, I don't know how much time I actually have left. Do I have 5 minutes left? Do I have 30 minutes left? I don't know. So one thing that I bought to help me figure out how much time I have left is this device. It's actually a voltmeter, and it gives me the actual percentage readout. So this way, if I am using an older battery, I pair it with the voltmeter, and this lets me know, hey, I'm at 92%, I'm at 4%, I'm at 10%, and wherever I'm at, I can make a determination based on what I'm filming if I want to switch out the battery or keep rolling. And since there are multiple devices that I want to power, as you can see, we have the wow, this is not the FX3, this is the A7R V and the Adamus Ninja. So what I have here is this D-tap splitter. Using this D-tap splitter creates 4 additional D-taps for me. So I have the Adamus going in here, the A7R5, and I have the voltmeter. So this is a battery that I use more so as a last resort. It's not really my go-to anymore, but it still works. So I have it in my arsenal, so to speak. So the same thing I said about this battery pretty much applies to this one and to this one, in that there aren't like digital readouts of how much power you have left. What is cool about this newer one is that it does have a USB out, which is pretty cool. But nowadays, you know, a lot of us are using USB-C, so we need more options, more options. So that's where these newer ones come in. So these were like the 2nd generation of batteries that I picked up. So what's great about these is that they do give you that digital readout, so you can see the percentage of the battery that you have left. You have barrel DC outputs on the top, and you have your D-tap on the side, and then also you have your USB-C and USB-A. So I do like these batteries. I use them often and use them quite the same way. This one is a slightly bigger one, which I like, so I just put it on my V-mount holder. And again, since I want to power multiple devices, this newer battery is great. It gives me the percentage readout, but it only has 1 D-tap port. So I'll plug this in here. This is the D-tap splitter. And I still need the splitter because this only has 1 port, and it will power everything, and it tells me the percentage. It doesn't give me an exact time of how much I have left, but having a percentage is very, very helpful. So once I get down to like 10%, 5%, I'm like, okay, as soon as there's a break that I can take in filming, I'll just swap it out. So now let's go over to my favorite battery, and I'll tell you why. So this is the SmallRig 212. But actually, real quick, before we get to this one was a strong contender because it has 2 D-tap ports on it, and it's a higher wattage. It's 155, and these are 99. So pretty much for about the same size, you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck. And it also has USB-C as well and USB-A. But let's take a look at why this is a little bit strange, if you ask me. So I'm gonna take out this D-tap splitter, and I'm gonna take this battery off, and I'm gonna put on, what brand is this? This is Power Extra because it provides extra power. So I'm gonna plug that in. Now, you're like, oh, this bad boy has 2 D-tap ports. Yay, this is amazing, right? So let's click on the button here. So we're at 100%, which is great. Now, if I come over here to the D-tap port, right? I'm gonna put in, these D-tap ports are facing different directions, which is great. So I'm gonna put in my camera D-tap, boom. And then now I have my Adamus D-tap, but as you can see, I can't fit it in because this one is here. And then if I take this one and flip it this way, I can't fit this one in underneath it. So it's like, it's pointless to have 2 D-tap ports because you put them right next to each other. And I'm just like, why? Did you not go through any product development, any customer testing? Why would you do that? You know, I just don't get it. Aside from the D-taps being crazy close together, it still is a decent V-mount battery. And you know, once it gets going and you start using it, it does give you like a readout of how many minutes you have left, which is very helpful. So now we're gonna move on to the best V-mount battery. The one you should get just to save you from all, you know, all this trouble, all these extra cables. It's the SmallRig 212. She's you know, she's a little chunky, but she got some good junk in the trunk, you know? It's not superfluous, it's not a waste, she's just beautiful. So you get your 2 barrel ports, you get 2 USB-C, and you get a USB-A. And SmallRig did the smart thing. They put the D-tap ports on opposite sides. So you got one on the right here and one on the left. So we don't need any additional cables. All I have to do is pop that bad boy in. I can plug in my Adamus over here, turn that on. And then on this side, I can plug in the camera, the A7R. And so now I don't need the D-tap splitter, goodbye to that. And I don't need the voltmeter. And the reason I don't need the voltmeter is because not only does it give me a percentage readout, but it tells me exactly how many hours I have left. 9 hours and 35 minutes. That is insane. This means I can be on the red carpet for the whole event without needing to change batteries, which is super helpful because when I'm using the Adamus Connect, I don't want to have to power it down and then reconnect it to Wi-Fi and start streaming again to Frame.io. So that's why I say the SmallRig 212 is the perfect battery because it will last you the whole day pretty much. And it has 2 D-tap ports that are nicely positioned, smartly positioned, and you can still charge things like your Insta360 via USB-C on the top. You can charge your phone. So there's still a lot of other things that you can do with this battery. So this is, in my opinion, I'm gonna say it, the perfect V-mount battery. Ooh. So this is Chef Gal approved. This is not endorsed. I spent my own money on this battery and I'll probably buy another one. So if you are in the market looking for a V-mount battery, definitely the 212. I like the newer ones as well. They are priced to undercut the SmallRigs in this sort of model. So this is also a good pickup as well. This is the one that I would go for from newer. It just has a slightly different design. So what is this one? This is the, does it say it on the back of here? It does, but it is really hard to read. So go with the chunky newer one. Has a lot of good options. The one that has 2 USB-C ports, that would be my second recommendation. And if you need more than 99 watts, you have the Power Extra, which is great, except for the poorly placed D-tap ports. So let me know. I'm definitely curious, what V-mount batteries are you guys using? Let me know in the comments below. And is this a battery that you might think about picking up? So yes, I'm excited. I'm gonna keep shooting today. I have a shoot later, so this is gonna be my setup. I am the Chef Gal, and I just gave you the V-mount battery recipe.